across Africa are not going to let it go. Some of us who have also come in to help, you can say, you can insult too many words, I'm not bothered. But remember, I have over 76 families in my clan, in my county, who have settled in Uganda permanently since 2007 and 8. I have never discriminated them. They run M-Pesa shops. I have no problem with them. Neither do we tell them they are not Ugandans. They are Kenyans. They are there. You can call now. I can give them your number. They love me so much. They listen to this program. When I talk about unity of purpose in Kenya, they are watching. Don't forget those guys who left their country and have stayed, not because they have done anything wrong. It's because of the type of violence, the type of words that we hear from Oscar Sudi and his group and his ilk. That's better English to use this morning. But we shall dwell with that subject today. Don't miss at 3 p.m. Unfiltered. I think for the first time I will ask Karen Joseph in Malindi to join the Unfiltered. It is going to be interesting. Very nice. It is gloves and hands off. We do it, we say it. We bring all the people who have been saying what? If the master himself is attacking the boss, what do you think of the servants in the garden? Woohoo! This is going to be very good this afternoon. And I brought this issue of people being in my county. I have 79 families that have been there since 2009. In my own county, they crossed over, they run business, they run M-Pesa. They are Karanja Matanga, Karanja Wanyeri, Karanja Machete, Karanja Dis, Kibito. They are there. They are in my county. So I have a right to say and I defend them because this is how things started. I was here. I remember I came with the Sky News crew. I had the same words, the same people, the same person, playing the same script. I don't know. I'm not the one. I didn't say it. We know. History has taught us who you are. But we are not going to discuss that today. Our side is more sober, more educated. The side of President Uhuru Kenyatta went to school and they will stay firm. You can deploy generic. Medium yesterday, what I discovered is generic figures. A whole man intending to rule a country uses generic figures. People are lying to him that we have got a lot of support. Kumbe, they are doing generically figures to show. How can you post a post for 3 minutes? It has 576 people. Then on the 3 comments, then you say we are doing a great job. Give them that money for free. Because after all, the money might have been got for free. Generically, people are surviving. When you look at the account of Mr. What is his name? One of the famous bloggers, Mr. Alai. Most of those people are dead Chinese. They can't answer any question about Kenya. There are only a few Kenyans. So people think, Alai has got a very big account. Itumbi has a big account. Those are dead people. Generically formed. Unless you don't know what the data is, then you can say this website is doing very well. It's better some of us who have 100 people, 200, genuine answering you than generic disorder of the day. Thank you very much. Let's go back to Miriam and thank you. Welcome, Madam, from the coast. That she give us the weather first? Yes. I like you for the weather forecast. Forecast it. Bring it up. Weather.
Okay. The weather down here, in fact, has been very sunny, and today, to be specific, it's also going to be very sunny. And the temperatures right now, it's 9:26. It's 26 degrees Celsius. And at around 10 a.m., it will also be mostly sunny, and it will be 27 degrees Celsius. And it will remain constant and 27 degrees Celsius from 10 to 11. And then at noon, that's 12 p.m., it will still be mostly sunny. The temperatures will be at 28 degrees Celsius, and it will be constant and 28 degrees Celsius till 2 p.m., still mostly sunny. And then at 3 p.m., here at Malindi, it will still be mostly sunny, and the temperatures will be 27 degrees Celsius. It will be constant 27 degrees Celsius from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. At around 5 p.m., it will be at 26 degrees Celsius, and 6 p.m., it will be at 26 degrees Celsius, still sunny. And the sun here at Malindi at the coast will be setting at exactly 6:19 p.m. The temperatures are 20 degrees Celsius. At 7 p.m., we have clear skies. It will be 25 degrees Celsius. At 8 p.m., it will still be very clear at 25 degrees Celsius. The humidity right now, as we speak, it's 69%. That's the weather for today from Malindi. Back to Miriam and Dr. Masanga.
All right.
Thank you very much. Miriam, back to you. Let me also give the weather in Nairobi. Miriam has the weather in Nairobi. I am very far away from Nairobi, miles away in winter. Winter is coming, man. My side, I'll run to Karen Malindi very soon. I think I better visit Malindi. Miriam, what do you think? Our first documentary, you and I, is under Karen and Stephen and others. We better do it in Malindi. Drive slowly. And since the figures of COVID-19 seem to have been wiped out, Miriam, I'm happy to stay around Malindi because these guys are very strict. Malindi and Mombasa, I swear, Miriam, whoever your relative is in Mombasa is safe. They are strict. Here, the matatus have returned to carry the real numbers. We are carrying the real numbers. In Mombasa, kuna stand on Bamburi, near Bamburi, that road all from Shanzu. Stand there as an observer. That's what I did. Put my car there with my glass for Mehmet and everything, not for Mehmet, sorry. And I looked. The cars going down, all of them, they were up to date. Hakuna kuchezo. Thank you.
All right.
Back to you, Miriam.
Yes, and Karen is telling us that it's very sunny. Karen, I can't even relate as the cold here in Nairobi has persisted since over the weekend. It's drizzling, it's cold, so I just envy your weather this morning there. But thank you so much for that update. What I have with me is the update in regards to COVID-19 and where we stand as of this morning in Kenya. The figures right now is at 35,205. cases that we have recorded so far. 599 people have since died, 21,310 have recovered, and Uganda, the total cases is 3,776. 44 people have died in Uganda, 1,741 have recovered, and then in Zimbabwe, the figures are 7,298. 210 people have died, 5,455 have recovered, and then in South Africa, the country that is still leading in the continent, 639,362 cases. The death toll in South Africa is 15,004. And the recovery there is 566,555. And the total cases in Africa this morning is 1,215,609. And the active cases in the continent as we speak is 243,334. So, Doctor, that is where we stand this morning. And the figures in Kenya have continued to go down there. So, as it were predicted a couple of months ago, so we're just in line with the prediction. Doctor, they must have gotten the modeling right. You remember when they were modeling and they were giving us the samples there, and perhaps then a lot of people don't understand what they were saying, but they said come September, the curve will start to flatten. So I don't know why a lot of Kenyans are surprised, because we were told so many months ago.
It is not a surprise. It is only people who have never studied modeling as a subject. People who are either derailed or out to disrupt the government politics. Like some group of other people, disoriented guys in this country. Some of them who just want to undermine everything that President Uhuru Kenyatta does. Modeling is the best sample of a humanity. If you are of focus, you focused what will happen. The modeling samples of Kenya were correct. I'm not saying the others of Uganda were not. If you look at the modeling sample of Zimbabwe, for example, Zimbabwe figures seem to be only beginning where Kenya was. You get the point? Uganda's figures seem to be beginning where Kenya was. And we have to be very frank here with some people. Tell the truth. The figures of Uganda seem to be now just beginning. Kenya did it wholesomely. It took the modeling sample of the highest level. They started tackling this thing head on. Ventilators, this, that, multi-purpose agency. The Uganda scenario focused on aeroplanes, those and the border posts that were prevent the measure. Kenya was both preventive and a cure. Kenya used a method. I hope you are with me, people. We use both the methods. We get you, we cure you, you go home. Uganda one, prevent even those coming so that no more can expand. Get the airplanes back to January. President Museveni ordered for the planes to manifest, to be brought. And anybody who came from Dubai from January was brought. That's why you could find that by January, the disease in Uganda disease in the world had not started. So most of the people who are added into these collection centers for testing came out negative. You get my point? Because the thing had not manifested. But now towards now, incubation period started, the 14 days started, it became 20, 200 days, 30 days, 60, 70. Incubation system has started. Whereas Kenya's method, and I want to explain this because people always ask what they don't know. The Kenya's method was very clear that prevent, and if you get, give it medicine. Don't allow it to go. Okay? That is why the modeling of Kenya was fantastic. Thank you very much, Miriam.
And also some new development in regards to COVID-19 that yesterday, I don't know how a lot of families would feel that have lost their loved ones through COVID-19, and those new rules that were given that you could not even view, the body of a loved one. In a lot of our cultures, we are allowed to do that, but those changed. But yesterday, On page 8 of the Daily Nation, it says strict rules from for the burial of COVID-19 victims will be relaxed to allow families accord their loved ones decent send-off. The Health Ministry has announced. Health Chief Administrative Secretary Rashid Aman acknowledged that the ministry may have deployed extreme measures in the burial of those killed by COVID-19. He explained that with proper handling of the body by placing it in a body mask, the risk of infection is almost nil. So families that have lost their relatives have protested, of course, the hasty burials, and now they're saying even when you're dead, really the risk of you transmitting the COVID-19 is not even there. It's very low, and a lot of families have really, were really hurt during this period. You lose your loved one. And then on top of that, you cannot get closure, because a lot of us will get closure by just, viewing the body, and then, you get your closure like that. So a lot of families are still trying to deal with also that. So now the Ministry of Health comes out and said, and of course, these are just some of the measures that were given by World Health Organization. So I'm sure they were following that. And they're saying, we might revise this. You might actually be able to now accord your loved one a decent, burial. I don't know, Karen, how do you feel about this? 8 months, 5 months later. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you have this dangerous virus all over, you cannot take risks. You cannot assume that it cannot be passed to you. So I do not blame them for following the WHO rules, because it's dangerous and you cannot take risks by exposing the body, people viewing it. So I understand when we have such a disease all over, it's normal for us to be cautious. So it's part of it usually happens when you have a new disease. People try to be so cautious, and I think that was what they were trying to do, but we cannot blame them, because we couldn't obviously view the bodies, and we didn't have much information. We did not get the information that we needed then, and it usually takes time before we get to know some things about some diseases slowly, because when we had HIV some years ago, people were even scared of shaking hands. They were scared of shaking hands because they were so cautious. But then with time, we got to know that shaking hands, you cannot get HIV by just shaking hands. So usually when we have a disease, a new disease or infection, there's this tendency, and it's usually allowed because you can't just expose yourself fully. You could get infected. So it's a trend that usually happens when you have a new disease. People are cautious, but then with time we get to know of the do's and don'ts. So it's usually expected when you have a dangerous disease, it happens. But it's good that with time we'll have these rules relaxed. People will have closure, like you just said. And being Africans, it's just part of our culture to bid them by, and we feel like by just seeing them, we're done with it. So I'm glad that with time we're having these rules relaxed, because we're getting to know the do's and don'ts. We're getting to get information about this disease. So it will be a relief. However, still we can have these bodies with those masks, like they are saying, and it will be better, but we cannot expose these bodies to these other people just freely. But it's usually a tendency, Miriam. You usually do not know what to do, what is right when it just happens. So you try what you can to contain it.
All right, very well, thank you. And Aman here, Dr. Aman, Professor, good morning, and thank you for joining.
Good morning. Yeah.
All right. So he says cautionary measures taken at first were extreme, and we have learned from them. And that is why we have considered reviewing some burial protocols of those who succumbed to COVID-19 related illness to make it easier for those who have lost their loved ones. I mean, for those who already had lost their loved ones and had to go through another extra trauma of not being able to accord their loved ones a decent send-off. Well, of course, yes.
Miriam.
Yes.
There are two things. My tribe, where I come from, where my mother and my father decided to produce me from, 1955. If you want to be a leader or a member of parliament, the first rule is to go through initiation process, to be initiated, manhood. There is nobody in our tribe who can go to parliament if you have not gone through our initiation process. You can call it anything. You can go to Angel Gabriel. After all, Angel Gabriel and Jesus also took circumcision. So our tribe, for you to talk like the way Matanga talks, you must have gone through it. Kabisa. There is no shortcut there. But this year, I am bringing this so that people understand. And those who don't want to hear, they can go away. I am not going to harass anybody, to force anyone to hear. But this year, our circumcision was disrupted. We did not complain. Medium, I'm bringing this so that it can balance those who know when the conditions are bad, when there is war, there is done something different. Things are not done in a proper way. The people, the circumcision process in Mbale, where every Mudavadi, from Mudavadi up to Ekesha, all those guys, they all come to our place to initiate the process once in every even year in August, when there is a harvest. That is our custom. They come to one place where circumcision started in the whole of Luya land. All Luyas come there. You don't go and cut a male offspring from your family without coming to our place to seek permission from my clan, which is called Umukuka. We are the Bakuka. I am a prince. I am a prince from the Umukuka. That's why when I speak with Angura, Wamarwa, Rusaka, they don't speak. I've spoken for them. Let people in Kenya know it from today. Have you ever seen Mudavadi speaking when I've spoken? No. I'm an elder. Because if I do this, your children want to be all right. Yes. Yes. That's why you see when Atwoli speaks, give him credit. But Atwoli again has to their bigger princes, Bakuka. Atwoli is not in the clan of Bakuka. When it comes to customary values, this is a community television. We must teach community values. So the people who might not have buried their people because of COVID-19, you are not alone. The point I'm trying to make now, Miriam, is we are very many. COVID-19 came to uproot all our customs, change our behavior. That is the point I'm making. And that is why those should forgive, forget, and forgive. At one time, when conditions are well, we can cleanse, do a cleansing ceremony of where you can cut a black dog, a black goat, a black cock, a white cock, dance around the grave, make it what, cut a cow. Those things are there.
Dance around the grave. Dance around the grave, that sounds like witchcraft, no? That's spooky.
No, Miriam, no.
Dance around the grave. I mean, I'm a Christian country.
Mom, Mom, Miriam.
You
I've
dance around
called
the
you-
grave and you
I've
cut.
called you 90 times.
I can't
It's
relate.
not witchcraft.
Yeah, it's
It's
traditions.
not.
It's traditions.
And if you ask your dad,
No, we don't.
Who-
As we don't. We're Christians. We do not.
Yes.
We don't.
you don't
Totally
know.
we don't. Yes, I don't know.
Look at me. You don't know.
I don't.
You
We
are
don't
a
practice
child
that.
in the family. But there is nobody in Ruoran who can say he cannot do it.
Yes, others do
When
it.
it comes, they can do it, but in a modernized way.
They do it, but my family we don't. We are Christians. We
No!
We don't.
Did-
I'm
was
telling
it
you-
your-
I'm
was
telling
it
you
your
we don't.
umbilical cord not cut?
I'm telling
Don't
you.
tell lies. How did I cut your umbilical cord?
It has to be cut.
Wow.
It's medical. It
It's
has to be cut.
traditional. Umbilical cord is cut traditional.
I was born in the hospital. They cut it there.
Yes, then you went home and
Yes.
they have, please, let's leave this, let's bring a cultural
Yes.
lesson, maybe
Yes.
I'll teach you here.
I
And I'm
can't
not
relate.
going to urge over that because
Yes.
you can cut from hospital.
Yes,
But
and then
believe me or not,
It will
Miriam,
drop in the house.
the professor is here. He's a champion of the Bible that you sing so much.
Yes, I love it.
Tell you that even when you go home, they treat, you don't need to argue. There are certain families
Yes.
in that place in rural
Which
that
do that?
do it.
Yes, they do. Others do.
You must not do it.
Yes.
But there are families that do it.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes. The others who do it. Mm.
Yes. But you are not in the family.
No,
you are
we
not
don't.
the head of the family.
Even my
The
father
head
does
of the
not.
family is your dad and your mom.
They don't. They're
You haven't
Christians.
asked them whether they do it. No.
I know
think
they
that
don't because they raised me like that, but it's
we
okay.
would like to have
I
a
respect
they
cultures
can
and
do
I
it.
appreciate.
They can do it, but they cannot tell you.
No,
But there is nobody
Well.
whose umbilical cord is cut in a hospital
yes.
and they left it there.
Okay.
No. Where if they cut and you go home, there is always, I am telling you, not telling
Yes.
I don't want to tell your customs because I
Yes.
don't know them.
Yes. I think they're
I want to
different.
tell my customs.
Yes. Yes.
But a person who has studied African customs, I know even the rules of Uganda do it,
Yes.
the rules of Kenya do it,
Yes.
the Kisii of Uganda do it, the Kisii of Kenya do it. But it might be modernized to make sure that things are not seen like we are going to witchcraft. Already Miriam has focused the word witchcraft.
Just dancing around the grave. Dancing around the grave
Why did you
scared
bring
me.
why do you allow people to say they buried their people wrongly?
Yeah.
Why was your senator of Siaya coming to court to tell people that they should remove the body? Is he not your senator?
We are not related. He's just a senator of Siaya. And Siaya, we are different
The senator of
clans.
Siaya.
We
Where you
practice.
come from? I have my senator. I don't have a senator. But I'm telling you, my tribe, I come from Umukuk.
Yes.
I'm a priest. Therefore, I follow customs before. This man came with the Bible and took our land while we are reading the Bible. Dr. Kraft, you remember he started in Musambweni, down there in Taita. While we are reading the Bible, Peter, Exodus, Exodus, the guy was grabbing, grab. Me, I don't want to tell lies here. Pretend that I am Lakunule. No, I'm not Lakunule. No, I'm not. I am an African. All these traditions, we do them. And at times, if you don't do them, they come, you take your child to hospital, to every medicine, and run until the child dies. Then you say you wish you would have just run around the grave for one day. Oh, mama, you wait. People do them.
Okay. I respect that. I just not.
Let's move on.
Yes.
Let me just
I
come
respect
to
was
that.
No. Before you come in, I was only sympathetic with
Yeah.
the people
Who lost
their
their loved ones? Yes.
Yes, I am only trying to say this time, even we
Yes.
from our tribe,
People are
we lost the
affected.
circumcision. We didn't do it because the government, Museveni, even brought troops And they said, if I see any of them coming to dance here, they are finished because of COVID-19. That's the point I'm trying to make. So don't blame Uhuru Kenyatta. Again, they are going to blame Uhuru Kenyatta. You know, people are looking for all a manner of excuses to blame the president and to blame Mutahi Kagwe.
Yeah, but these measures were given by the World Health Organization, so we're just learning science.
Do they care, Miriam? Do they care? Do they care? They think Mutahi Kagwe is the one who made the measure.
No, that was the advice of World
Health
Health
Organization. People here in Kenya, do you think Ruto's people care whether it is the World Health Organization or Mutahi? Do you think Ruto's people care? They think Mutahi has taken the money and swallowed all COVID drugs. In fact, if you give all COVID drugs to Mutahi, he should have passed. Mupatie yeye akunywe. That's what they are saying. Haven't you seen what they are saying here? That give Mutahi Kagwe all the drugs for COVID-19 to drink. That type of hatred, where is it coming from? Professor, where is it coming from? You're a conflict resolution man. Where is it coming from? We are heading to some very bad situation. How can you say that all those masks, you should give him to swallow? Let's leave the agencies to find out who took what. Professor, come in.
Prof.
Yes. Ask me a question before I go ahead to comment.
Perhaps one of our viewers here said a little was known about this disease. Every day we learn a lot about COVID-19, so expect policies to be amended. So I'm sure Kenyans who've been following, who know what has been happening, that shouldn't be a problem, because we know a lot of families really suffered because we are coming to terms to a new way of, giving our loved ones, send off that might have not have fitted how we are used to doing things, and we had to adjust. So, and now these new studies and, has been made that a dead person cannot really pass on COVID-19 as long as proper measures are put in place. And now the government will give reviews on how perhaps new people who have died from COVID-19, the new measures that will be put in place, that people are able now to accord their loved ones a proper send-off there. So that should be a relief there for a lot of families, Professor, because we know the fact that a loved one died and you can't even see them, that is just trauma on top of trauma, and we saw how so many families had to suffer through that. But now that should be a relief.
Yeah, Miriam, thank you for that. And before I comment, Miriam, not all those people who call Lord, Lord will see the kingdom of God.
Yes.
Some will perish. And what you don't know, Miriam, it will not harm you. If you don't know the culture, how they do it, it will not affect you.
Yes.
But what Dr. Masanga is saying, and I entirely agree with him, there are some people who keep traditions. There are some people who follow their loved ones when they pass on. And what he wants to say that in chaplains, what we talk about, we are talking about debriefing. They need to be debriefed, to be told all is well, and they move on with their own life. So that's how the traditional African societies. I have done African heritage, Dr. Masanga, and this is how they used to do it. Sometimes someone will go far away and he dies, and then they will plant a banana tree. Did you see them trying to plant for the one for Koth?
They did.
So those traditions are there, but we thank God you are saved, but now it will not affect you because you don't know.
I don't believe
and the way he has told you, I come from the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I come from the Kisi culture, whereby we do FGM, female genital mutilation. People who are educated, people who are doctors, people who are Christians, do you know, Miriam, they just go and do it private. They do it, they don't do it open, but they do it, and they are Christians. You will find them sneaking, and then they do it. So yes. Culture is the way of life of the people, and a lot needs to be done for it to be removed. Thank you, that's what I have to say. And Dr. Masanga, that's how we need to assure people how things will be done, so they should be debriefed. Those who are fine.
Professor, I add on what you have said. Clash of values. I like what Ina Hassan has said. Clash of values. Values have clashed. And that's it. It's absolutely correct what I was saying.
100%.
Is 100% correct.
Yes.
The clash of values should not be seen as a failure of government, because the people here always start fighting the government. You know where this statement is going. Someone will go to court and say Mutahi Kagwe forced us to bury people.
That's
and
right.
therefore we must rebury these people. It's clash of values and at war. It is very different circumstances. It is a war zone. A war zone has different rules. That's all that television is here to teach.
Thank you.
To teach people. I'm not here to make a name. I'm here to teach. And those who don't want to hear, fine. But I'm here to teach both African culture, new culture, and a new dispensation. That's my position. That is why this television is called a community television. It is not a commercial television. We are not in commercial. We are not inviting adverts. Let it be known here today. I've not invited adverts. I don't get money here. We are speaking wisdom for people, not to harass the government because they buried their people. They lost their people. It was a very bad situation. Clash of values.
Yes.
Absolutely, we agree. We appeal to be humble and see whether at one stage you could be, when conditions are good, you could be allowed to come and rebury your people properly. But for now, until COVID-19 curve goes down, let it be known categorically that that is where the situation is. I think that's what I wanted to make. Analyst Karen from Mombasa, you have something.
Yeah, I have not concluded. I was only reinforcing what you were saying. So, Miriam,
Thank you.
what Karen said is very true. This is a pandemic which has come. It is new. Nobody knew how it will be about it. Even the elder one says they did not know. Miriam, it just came like this. You know, this disease is just barely sick. Is it 9 months now? 9 months, yeah.
About 10. If you were to go by the time it was discovered in Wuhan, that was in December last year. So.
Yeah, that's 10 months.
Yeah,
so what do I want to say? Even Karen said that even when HIV/AIDS came, Miriam, I can testify with my own eyes what I saw. The coffin used to be wrapped on a black potent paper and put away. But research has gone on, and HIV/AIDS has become just like another disease. So even this COVID-19, Miriam, we still need to take precaution because they have said, yes, it cannot pass. But remember, someone has died of COVID. It is still fresh, and the fruits are there. And the fruits. Miriam, what will happen if you come in contact with it? So we are still doing some research to see how things can be done. Nobody should be prepared, but what I know, and Dr. Masanga is right. You know, the government, it becomes a punching bag. They will crucify Mutai. They will crucify the president. But what I want to say is that this is a pandemic. It came. Nobody knew how we have to behave. But by the grace of God, it is going down, and we will go back to our normal life. But at the moment, Miriam, let us take precautions. They said you don't, now they say you can. Let us try to work diligently and very carefully.
All right, very well. And we have to emphasize whatever the Ministry of Health here in Kenya was implementing, this was advised from the World Health Organization, which was the body that was advising all countries that had registered any COVID-19 cases. So all these protocols we were following from the World Health Organization there. So Mutahi Kagwe's neck should not be on the chopping board. All right, let's just leave that alone now. All right, Doctor, in line with time, do we continue? Okay, so the front pages of the Daily Nation, 8 governors on graft hit list, investigations, heads of counties in the spotlight as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission closes in on procurement deals for COVID-19 supplies, water projects, relief food and other items. The agency is also probing diversion of funds and purchase of a controversial piece of land. So we see corruption, cases right now, even the county bosses, the governors there, who a lot of them have been mentioned in corruption and misappropriating funds that are meant for developments in the counties there. They're not having it very easy, as we saw a number of them right now under investigation. That will be Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru, Garissa Governor Ali Korane, Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu, Kilifi Governor Amason Kingi, among others. So the war on corruption and the agencies that are mandated in the fight against corruption, we see with they continue working like this, we might as well just be on the right path in eradicating this menace, Karen.
Yes, and I must say, I think for the 20-something years I've been on this planet, I think right now I feel like they are so working on it. They have just begun working on it, and it's very impressive. Now, if we go on with this kind of a trend where we see people who've had corruption issues taken to court, it simply means that, like I said before, if we want to deal with corruption, we need to deal it from the top. So the kind of impression, the picture they give us is that the rule of law is right now cutting across the society. It doesn't matter the position you're in or whatever whichever position you hold in the society. Then if you are found to be corrupt, then the law will take its course. So it's very impressive. Now, if you go on this trend, we are heading somewhere, and gradually we will eradicate corruption. Like I always say, it won't happen in a day or so, but then with time. So they should keep up the good work. We want to see more of people who are found guilty of being corrupt taken to court, and the law taking its course. That's the only way, one of the ways you're going to deal with corruption. Seeing the people from the top being dealt with, down here we're going to be very awake, we'll not be misusing these funds anymore. So it's very impressive. They should keep up the good work, the agencies, that is.
All right, very well. Doctor, there's no escaping for these governors, a lot of them who has been mentioned in corruption. We've seen EACC and other agencies there really going after these governors. I think acting also on report by, we've seen in the past, by the Auditor General, who revealed a lot of corruption has been happening there in the counties, and a lot of monies could not be accounted for, but these days seems to be numbered there. All right, Professor, he's not...
Miriam. I want to say that better late than never. And I will always take what David Murata says. He said things the way they are. He said, you guys, you don't know President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. You will see him in his true colors in his second term. And he will even send you to jail even if you are his brother. And even the president said that even if you are my brother and you are taking money which belongs to the people of Kenya, I'm not with you. And I want to thank you, Miriam, that the Prime Minister and the President have been very faithful to the handshake. They said corruption is one of the items which is benefiting the country. And see, Miriam, how ODM has come very categorical that they will not allow their governor under their party with the ticket in the government of Migori. They have said they don't want him in office. That is the kind of commitment what we need to see. Miriam, some of these governors, investigations are going on, and I want to see that they must have watertight investigation. And we hand them to court. We want them to go to be welcomed in committee by Waruke. Anyone who takes money which belongs to the people of Kenya. Miriam, I'm so much upset this morning with the governor of Tharaka Nithi. Who has bewitched Kenyans? Must you steal with your wife and your children? Why are you dragging your children? Simply because you have gotten an opportunity to serve the people of Tharaka Nithi and some of these governors? And now are they going to blame that the President Uhuru Kenyatta is the one who is following them? You take the money which belongs to the people of Kenya, Miriam, as Karen has said. You will run, but you will not hide. And we are asking the judiciary, please protect the money which belongs to the people of Kenya, which would have gone to put drugs in hospitals, to build roads, to supply water, to caution agriculture. So, Miriam, this is a good indicator. And the only thing that which I want to say, Miriam, I wish that the president was supported under the first term with the people whom they were with. We could be very far today, Miriam. It is just barely 3 years after the handshake. See what's happening. And the people, heads are going to roll. So what they're going to say, and I always appear as a chaplain, it's not for our interests. Because even if you are taken to prison, I will come there to give you hope that all will be well. You need to repent. What I'm trying to say, if you have taken the money of the people of Kenya, EACC is there, asset recovery, please return our money. And you will continue with your life. And you vacate the office. That's what a civil said. I'm seeing from far, and I have a dream that this thing will one day happen in Kenya, Miriam.
All right, very well.
You talk of, Professor, thank you very much for bringing that up. You talk of returning our money. On the Star newspaper, in the corner, right-hand corner, missing cash, assets recovery says 300 million has been wired out of 4 ministries.
Yeah, so
4 ministries. Wired out of 4 ministries, 300 million. The president is fighting corruption. But 4 ministries under the watch of ministers, 300 million has been wired out, missing. Where is it? Who wired it? You know, who wired this money? Who wired this money? So these are some of the things that bring us forth, back, forth on fight against corruption. There's somebody who wired this money. For me, I don't have any mercy with anybody who steals with the children. I agree with Professor that I can't steal with my children. If I find a governor who has given to village to other people in the county and they have delivered, maybe I can have lenience. But you teach your own children to go and steal like this one of Tarakaniti. Yeah. No, Jermaine, no. Yes. If you give to the community outside, fine, we can, Justice Mumbi can look at your eyes and give you a linear sentence because you tried to spread to eradicate poverty. Yes, the way the DP eradicates poverty through churches after hammering from somewhere else. You know what? The guy comes to churches and dash. Now, the churches, all of them are going there. But I have not seen the DP hosting churches in the Rift Valley. I'm scared about that. Is there God there? There's God in Mount Kenya only.
God of the mountain.
Hey, why is it the pastors from this region? Are they the only one who wants to do Ebesha? Are they the only one? Mutahi Nguni has said something here which I don't want to quote, but it is very good at times. I have not seen the DP going to Luo Nyanza, The churches there need his service. One of these Sundays, he can go and arrange a church service in Siaya and start dishing out this money. Yeah, you know, look here, Miriam, and others under the pan. There were two high priests called Annas and Caiaphas. Between Annas and Caiaphas, I will use the vernacular. Who of the two do you like? Because Annas was a bit moderate. Caiaphas, the one who killed Jesus, was brutal. So I leave it to you, the pan. Was brutal, he knows what to do, what he's doing. So those who have ears, hear. Those who don't have, leave it to God. The legacy goes on, we fight, we bring what we can, we have done our level best. But people have decided to go political. What do we do? Back to the studio.
All right, very well. And Doctor, that story you mentioned about the 300 million that has been lost is on page 6 of the Star newspaper here, and it says, documents filed in court and exclusively obtained by the Star show how money was deposited into the 7 banks account and quickly withdrawn in cash. The agency believes the move was to disguise the money trail, and other than the Treasury and Office of the President, the suspected fraudulent payouts were also made by the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Defense, State Department for Public Health, and Ministry of Health. So that matter is in the court, so hopefully we shall find answers very soon. And that goes to show that the fight against corruption is very active and alive, and if it continues like that...
I didn't hear that, Miriam.
Yes.
The other Ministry of what?
The Ministry of Defense.
Yes.
I think, is it the Office of... Let me just confirm. I give you the exact words they've written here. They're saying, other than the Treasury and Office of the President, the suspected fraudulent payouts were also made by the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Defense, State Department for Public Health, and Ministry of Health there. So they're saying also those payments, others came from the Office of the President and others the Treasury there. So, but the asset recovery is on the case. So it appears a few individuals in those ministries, they've mentioned 2. One of them is Ruth Nyambura James, and the other one is Stephen Musyoki Kinyamaso. They run these companies that are said to have received this money. So the cases are there, and we shall be following this case and perhaps update our viewers as we receive.
Then this brings up to the question we have been saying. Is there someone within the system who fails the war on corruption? If you are telling me those ministries wired that money,
it's like a specific account, a specific company.
An ordinary thief who is trying to bungle the ministry, how will he do it? Surely, I think my people, I think there is something wrong.
Yeah, and Doctor, I think we've talked about it before, as much as even the people who are sabotaging President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy are from the inside, and now even the ones that are perpetrating some of these things. Because when you look at the ministries that have been mentioned there, I mean Treasury, and then we have the Ministry of Interior. It's very specific ministries, so it's quite interesting. Is it politics? What is happening? Are they targeting? Yeah. So it's just saboteurs are inside there.
I have said it.
And the Office of the President, yes.
In the ministry, who gave KEMSA managing director access to the treasury to overborrow money. This is the person we should take to court.
Saboteurs are in there.
Corruption. This person should go to court. The person who gave authority to overborrow in the Ministry of Treasury, in the Treasury, Who is this in the treasury who could not accept the guidelines of the government procurement act and look at us, where is the government signature? Where is the signature of the minister for you to borrow such huge money? This is the person we should look for in the ministry, whether it's a PS, whether it's an undersecretary, whether it's what. Lock him up together with that stupid man governor called the director of KEMUSA, my foot. Weka wandani. Watu wanaiba pesa, they are making Uhuru have sleepless nights.
And now, Doctor, you see the office of the president has been mentioned there. You can see the
There
specific
are people
ministries.
we should look for, and we are not going to keep quiet. You know the war must be fought fully. Full stop. We don't have much time. 2 years to go. We must flatten the curve of corruption.
Yes.
That is a headache tomorrow. How to flatten the curve of corruption. Medium mark it down. How to flatten the curve of corruption by 2022. That is our topic tomorrow. Wacha tufunge watu. The prison is empty. Miami prison near Jamaica, where people have found, is empty. Wacha tuchukue watu huko. Who is this man in the Ministry of Finance who allowed the general manager of KEMUSA to overborrow the money? He committed corruption. Full stop. Don't come from Kagwe. They bypassed the minister to accept $4 billion. They bypass who on the board? Who signs the checks of KEMUSA? Apart from the chief accountant, managing director, who checks the checks? Who? Wabukala, work with your handicrafts. Bishop, we are fighting corruption here, and the legacy does not take any prisoners. Now, if you tell me 300 million missing, that is $3 million. That could build a very good hospital in Navroko or Kitale. Or Chebutais, or Chebukube, or Bukwa, or Rodwa.
Especially
or Baringo, where
the
cattle rustling could stop.
They're having a very tough time there with the floodings also, so perhaps they could
Yes,
fix even
because
the
they encroached on the bad time. What? Who told you to go near the lake?
They could build the bridges and the,
no. Who told you to go and build near the boat? When we grew up, let me show you one example again, William. Coming all the way from Naivasha.
Yes.
In 1978, on top there, after you have finished the dual carriage, the lake, there was a lake there. There was a lake there. You can see it in the bus. In the bus. Before you start seeing Nairobi lights, there was a lake there. You remember? I know you were not there by then, maybe. But I'm now telling you.
Yes.
Professor, you were there by then.
Is it like Naivasha is still there, right?
No, Naivasha is there. There is another lake near the road on this Naivasha road. It used to be there.
Elementator. Yes.
No, even Elementator. Just near here, on top here, after the dual carriage. There's in Tigoni, after Tigoni. There
was a swamp, yeah.
Not a swamp, it's a lake. It was a deep lake on both sides.
I saw it.
Professor, not a swamp, please.
It is not a swamp, it was a lake. It used to kill people. Swamps don't kill people. There was water coming near the road, that Nairobi road. You could see the water. About 20 meters away, there was a lake. And on this other side, there was also a lake. Now, what the people have done, and you are going to blame Uhuru tomorrow. They have got sand and filled this place. They are building there.
Riparian.
The water is volcanic. One of these days, the volcano pipe will allow the water to come back. Then you blame Uhuru Kenyatta.
So the bill on riparian land.
My defense for Uhuru Kenyatta on the legacy, he didn't tell you to go and build your hotels in Lake Baringo. Lake Baringo is reclaiming its place.
Yeah.
It has come back. It has followed. It is following them.
Doctor, it's very
Even
sad.
like
It's
Victoria.
very sad. Even like Victoria did, yes.
In Uganda, people went and bought beach. You buy beach. Are you God who created beach? Are you God? Kina Museveni bwana, wewe mzee, wewe unatuachia shida kubwa kwa nchi. They bought beach. This small boy called Bob Wine also bought a beach.
A beach
Is it
house.
your beach? The lake is coming for it.
Yeah. But that is the only available beach area.
Now what has happened? Do you know how many people are running from the beach?
From the beach
And
houses.
look in Kampala, in Entebbe, in the whole of Lake Victoria, Sess Islands. People have run away, left even hotel beds inside.
The lake has reclaimed its place.
So things are changing. So
Climate
when
change.
you are going to buy land, that place up there, environmental experts should
Yeah,
with their heads go and remove those people before the volcano sends the water up and the water starts coming from your house.
Environmental experts are corrupt. They'll allow them to go build, then after they come and demolish. That's what they,
William,
that's what
Professor
they-
Wangari Maathai said this, that if you interfere with nature,
Nature will mess up.
nature
your life.
doesn't forgive,
Yes.
nature doesn't forget. Nature will kill you. The professor was never wrong.
All right.
This is happening.
And
Okay.
the ordinary wananchi are tired of corruption.
Enough.
William, don't forget the topic tomorrow in the People's Court.
Yes. Flattening the curve
How
of
to
corruption
flatten the curve
by
of
2022.
corruption.
Yes. And doctor, I know.
And we shall name without fear or favor with the gloves off. Today I've started early. The gloves are off.
I can see
I'm
that.
gonna name them. Come for me.
All
Yes.
right.
Unachoka. Some people even fear
Yeah.
to mention some people's name. They go to the toilet. Then they hide. You know.
Doctor.
Just say it here.
Doctor.
Are you the one who stole? No.
Doctor.
Are you in the tender? No. The tender was done by those people.
Yes.
People are tired.
The-
The wananchi are tired. I agree with so many people who are suffering. There's no medicine.
All right. So something else that we have to talk about, Doctor, before we leave, because I know we'll be out of here to prepare for the other show in the next maybe 5 minutes. The Standard newspaper up there. I will not fight Uhuru in public, Ruto says. Who's fooling who? That's what the Standard is asking. Deputy President goes on a charm offensive in Uhuru's Mount Kenya stronghold, saying the friendship with his boss is still intact and he hopes to ride on president's support to win 2022 presidential race. I don't know. Did anybody watch the interview that DP did on Citizen the other day and what
I did.
he's saying here right now? Okay. A comment and then we can just prepare for the other show.
I did. No. Let's all talk about it.
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
You are not fighting the president in the public, but you are sending your prophets and the prophetess. Are they called prophetess? What? These women, the women. This is like that one with a long mouth from Elton. Yeah? Who stole money from the High Court? Huh? Where is the money from the Supreme Court? She was the registrar. She fluked her way with Wako. that man who was in the EACC. We have the file now. Resurrected the file.
Gladys Shule.
It was not properly done.
You mean, Doctor, you mean Gladys Shule?
Yes, you are not insulting the president, but you are insulting him through proxy. It's like France saying we are not fighting in Mozambique, but we have sent Qatar to fight for us. Wewe nafikiri si wajinga wewe mzee. Wewe acha terere. Tunaangalia. Tuna follow step. We haven't answered back yet. And we don't want to answer back yet. Because our side is civilized. We went to school to study this, how to handle souls. We did not study plants. Neither did we study too much land, which we dream about every morning. Wacha mambo itoke. Aterere.
But when he says, Doctor, I will not fight Uhuru in public, that means maybe he fights him in what does that even imply?
No, he's fighting him in quiet. Plan B, didn't I tell you Plan B was in office? I told you. Now those people who have been telling me and the Matanga, look at the man himself. He's saying he has Plan B, like a message. Message says he's not standing for election, but he has Plan B. What? I am out of here. Tell me that I am not happy. I am happy.
Professor.
The same man, you see, ODM was not brutal. But there were people who went at the ODM and they made it a brutal state in 2007. Yes, they stood on tables, kicking everybody. You know that? Mchunge hiyo wa Kenya. Inawaambia mchunge kabisa. Don't elect such a person. Mimi nakwambia hiyo taanza wazi kwa wazi. Let the president bring this show down. People, friends, can you stop an Indian giving support to President Uhuru Kenyatta?
Okay, so this is what
From
is.
India.
This is what is.
Will you refuse Narendra Patel family, which is related to Dr. Matanga from Mumbai, Narendra Patel in London, to give support to President Uhuru Kenyatta for his unity of purpose for this country? Will you support? Who are you? We might also stop you from going there. Where are you? Atere, Chonga. You might stop, you might end up in Africa. Only. Where? Don't threaten Uhuru Kenyatta. Don't threaten him. He has been threatened enough. You have not even touched this thing of this. What is this place called? Why do you bring? It is called Dikiri. What? Dikiri. This is an MP who married recently. Why doesn't he concentrate on his marriage? He hasn't even produced children to way to Matanga's last born.
What is that place called?
Dikiri. It was something like a Dikiri. I don't know. Mr. Neno, my brother, I am the one who persuaded you to go and marry from Intercontinental Hotel. Why don't you concentrate on your wife now and hammer many children, 3, 4? Then you can also start weighing yourself in the truth of men like us,
Doctor.
whose children are already married and produce grandchildren. I have 10 grandchildren. Look at me. The face is here. 10! Ya 11 yako karibu, anatoka. Wewe, aterere.
Okay, so Deputy
That today
President.
you shout because you are wearing a new shoes that they were given you money for that handout. you wear new shoes. You know, there is a problem here. When you give a man a toilet who has never seen a toilet, he can misuse it. Let's close the chapter.
All right, Professor.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Deputy
ma'am.
President, yeah, he's quoted here saying, there are people who would wish I start verbally engaging the President in public. I want to tell them that will not happen. I'm a responsible leader who has tremendous respect for the President. We have come from far.
My friend Aina Hassan says, Emurai Divigidi. What is Miriam, help me to pronounce this.
You say it until you get it right. Try again.
Called Emurai Divigidi. I can't pronounce the name.
You have
So people of Emurai, don't blame me.
You have to say it until you get it right.
I'm a Luya by nature. Luyas, when it is T, they say D. When it is D, they say D. Then when it is D, they say T. We are going home. Now, I am one of those who cannot pronounce some of these names properly. It is Emrai Dikitiri.
Yes, you will say the dikitiki until you get it right, Doctor. We're not helping you. So you'll have to say it again before you finish
I had
the
a
show.
comment to make. And
Doctor, before you make the comment, yeah, Professor, then Karen, and then you can finish, and then we come back later. So, Professor, the Deputy President here is saying that he's a very responsible leader who has tremendous respect for the President. I don't know how you show respect to somebody, especially who is your senior, but I don't know. What do you make of these comments? He's saying,
When he is saying that he has got tremendous respect for the President, do you know what? The opposite will be true. Did you hear what I say? The opposite will be true. Where was he saying this? It was in Mount Kenya. What do you expect him to have said? Will those people having even entertained him? So Miriam, let me just say, you may not say it, but your body language tells us.
And your actions, maybe.
Your action tells us. And let me tell you, let me have this to say. And now I recommend that the Deputy President be listening to this community TV so that he can hear what we are saying. In fact, we are helping him to become the president in 2022 than those Ngenos and the Sudis who are abusing the president. How are they helping him now to be the president in 2022? Honestly, let us look at that. Miriam, you don't say that you respect me and you send your children to insult me. When the dog barks at me, I don't just go to the dog. I go to the owner and tell him, guys, take care of your dogs. Otherwise, if they continue doing this one, we'll poison them. So, Miriam, the Deputy President has failed the test of humility, has failed the test of royalty, and with this one, Miriam, it will take him far. Let me just have this to say, Miriam. And I'm saying with a lot of humility. Let him just go and have free rations from the late President Moi. He was very humble and royal up the tip. You don't dare your boss. Miriam, when you are an assistant of someone, you are there to assist him. If he has not told you to assist him, do you quarrel? You sit and wait for him to assign you work. We see 2013, 2017, the president assigned him duties. He was doing it until he found himself being mentored and being mentioned and being part of corruption. What did you expect the president to do? So Miriam, the deputy president has screwed himself, has messed himself, and he will stand to blame. And in fact, let me tell you some of those members like from Dikri, and the one of Sudis. Let me just tell them to know. They are drumming they are drumming war drums, and they should know, Miriam. Let me tell you for one. We have got a country to build, Miriam. We have got a country to prepare for posterity to hand to our children. A stable Kenya is a stable country for the region. That's why you see Dr. Masanga gets upset when we don't do things right. Miriam, even if you don't agree with me, you don't go to insult the president. You saw the other day he tweeted. The sooner he stopped this social media and comes forward and say that one and apologize to the president and say, guys, it is not a must that I become the president of Kenya. I'm happy this morning because we talked about Southern Sudan, Miriam. We say that they give peace a chance and they listen to us and they are working towards assigning to agree. This is the way to go, Miriam.
South Sudan.
No, they'll send the peace deal in October. Mm-hmm. That's good. We talked here and that's very serious. Mm-hmm. So, Miriam, that does not mess our country. 2022 will come, we'll campaign. Kenyans will decide who becomes the president. Let us work now. Let us fight corruption. Let us fight COVID. Let us secure our people. Let us urge those who have taken money belonging to the people of Kenya, they turn, so that we build a prosperous nation. Mm-hmm. You need not to go to Mount Kenya to tell that you are not fighting the president. The message those people are getting is you are fighting the president, and they are not going to take it kind. And if they retaliate, you may not like it. He has failed the test of loyalty and being humble. What I would urge him, let him just go to Uhuru, his buddy called him his friend, and said, error is human, forgive me. Let us move forward. That's what I have to end there, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. And here is said to be saying that I will seek Uhuru's backing when the right time comes. Karen, our Deputy President is saying he has tremendous respect for his boss, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta, because they have come very far. Is he just talking the talk, or his walk, does it match the talk?
Miriam, he's not walking his talk. It's simple. The statement is very contradicting. Based on what we've heard a few days before and a few months ago, that statement is very contradicting, and he's not walking his talk. How I wish that he would also bring his followers or his supporters, letting them know that they have no right to insult the president. And I wouldn't take it easy with anyone who brings in my parents when it comes to insulting me. Fine, you insult me, but you don't bring my parents in it. It shows a lot of disrespect. That is one. And I think it's time for them to even stop making the public feel like there's so much tension. They're creating so much tension because they're exchanging words here, and it's not a leadership sort of character. We do not need to exchange words to make points or to bring about to vent what we want to. We should do it in a very respectful way, because leadership entails a respect. And we're talking about the president here. I don't know where some people get the energy, get the courage, get to speak that about the president. And other places, in other countries, we fear, we give all the respect. The president is just being nice. And that one gives them room to do that. However, they should not take advantage of that. We don't have to go to that extent to pass information or so. So that is it, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much, and thank you, Professor. Thank you,
Karen. Very much, Miriam.
Yes, Doctor. I beg.
I want to make a short comment.
Okay.
And then we wind up.
Yes.
Peace is the most important item, second to religion. If you have peace, if you have religion in your heart, you will have peace on earth. But religion is everywhere on earth. Peace is got through proper ways of discussion, dialogue, openness, transparency, and above all, listening to each other. The events in Kenya at the moment is we are talking at each other. We are dragging people's names who cannot defend themselves. Mama Ngina cannot defend herself. She's not in the government. She's the mother of this nation, the one we look up to. It is sad, therefore, for her name to be dragged into bonanzas, political bonanzas, calculated, supplied, equipped by none than those who hate President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya. The two brothers from the Rift Valley, therefore, are sounding the signs of war. But we call upon Kenyans not to listen to those signs of war. We call upon Kenyans to look back and look at 2007, 2008. The same type of war drums or drums of war were being sounded by some of the malcontents, like Oscar Sudi and others, who are again playing the same role in hostage taking, in the politics of hostage taking. We therefore ask the people of Kenya, the people of the government of Kenya, to isolate some of these elements, get them, inculcate some sense of nationhood, of togetherness, of peace. Remove the heart of violence. People who are violent, even if they create their own party, they become violent. That violence is seen within the party. One wing of the party is violent. The other wing wants to talk. The other wing talks violently. Murkomen has hit the whole place, insulting the president on TV. He kicked off the ball. He did his kicker. Now we are here. But above all, we want us as the media to say the truth and set the record correct. That Mama Ngina is not in the government. Mama Ngina is a citizen, like any other Kenyan citizen. She has a right to stay in Kenya. She has a right to belong to Kenya. She has a right as a human being under the Kenyan laws. But to be dragged into activities that are not her activities is sad, sardonic, prudish, and above all, underdone by malcontents who want to bring war and destroy peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for that closing. And I see one of our guests from Zimbabwe is already trying to join the conversation, but we shall take a break so that you're able to prepare and come back with our next show. Thank you so much for watching. Don't go too far. We shall be right back.
Medium.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.